A local health center makes it its mission to provide health to all ages in multiple communities here across Illinois, including right here in your community. Aunt Martha's Health and Wellness in Danville, Raul Garza, the president and CEO, is joining me now over Zoom. Raul, thank you for being with us today.
Hey, thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Well, absolutely. Let's talk about Aunt Martha and what you guys are all about here in Central Illinois.
Right. So we're located in the community of Danville, but we serve the greater Vermilion County and Champaign County and really the surrounding counties, providing primary care, family planning, care for young people, mental health services, and including vaccinating, those who are 16 years and older.
And what started in a basement, I mean, now look at you and all of the people that you're able to serve here in the community.
Yeah, that's right. We started in the community of Park Forest as a drop-in center, serving young people, and that was almost 50 years ago. And 50 years later, we're an organization that serves over 125,000 people in the state of Illinois, including those residents that reside in the central east part of the state.
And you're kind of your one-stop shop for anything when it comes to your healthcare, including your mental health.
That's exactly right. We've always had a vision and a focus on integrating care. So if you come in for a primary care appointment, we're likely to screen for depression or maybe some other behavioral health acuity that a person might have. And the reason we do that is because we want to have a holistic approach to helping support people, especially in the last year where we've seen a rise in the number of cases of people that have anxiety, people who are really stressed out about maybe losing their job, losing a family member to COVID. And so it's just tremendous needs that are in this community, especially in the communities of Danville and the surrounding area.
Well, you must be doing something right if you were noticed by our friends at Columbia University.
That's right. Well, Columbia University was really instrumental 18 years ago in really guiding Aunt Martha's to develop that model of care that I just spoke of, an integrated approach. So they're experts in that, have been for many, many years. And so we actually reached out to them back in 2003 and asked them to help us pilot that model in our primary care setting. And we never looked back. From there, we developed telepsychiatry, telehealth about 14 years ago. And that's really the primary source of how we were able to provide psychiatric and behavioral health care to the Danville and Champaign County communities.
Yeah, okay, let's talk COVID because
Yes.
obviously that's front on a lot of people's minds, but you all are very looking to help those people who may be in the minority still be able to get vaccinated if they choose.
That's right. So African Americans and Latinos represent about 19% of the population in Champaign and Vermilion counties. However, they account for 25% of the positive COVID cases in the community. And then when you look at how many of those people have actually been vaccinated, it really drops off to only 10% in those two counties. So what that tells us is that there's this disproportionality that's happening. And I think some of that is attributed to fears and concerns within those communities. I think we all have a sense that there have been mistrust, generational mistrust stemming from like the Tuskegee syphilis project, which was 70 years ago, 70 plus years ago, and then other failures really of our healthcare system. I've been very vocal and a proponent of making sure that when offered a vaccine, people take it. I would tell you that I understand, being a person of color, those concerns that people have, but I also trust in the science that these vaccines have been tested in clinical trials and they've proven to be effective. I'll just share something personally with you. I myself lost my father to COVID. He was diagnosed with COVID-19 on New Year's Eve. He was hospitalized for 8 days. He got out like the first week of January. And my siblings and myself and my mother all felt like he was recovering because the signals were there. He sounded better. I spoke to him every other day. And that last week of January, he just went through a down spiral that was just horribly incredible. And as I reflect back on his last days of life, the end of January and the beginning of February, I think about how he suffered physically, but I think the greater stress for him was not the physical stress that he suffered. It was more the emotional stress that he suffered as a result of really not being able to be with his family and probably knowing deep down that he wasn't going to come out of it. And I would never want to see anybody go through that. So, please get vaccinated. I've done a lot of media stuff on this. CBS National interviewed me even before this happened to me back in December on the Gayle King show, and I talked about the need for people to be vaccinated and be willing and open-minded to be vaccinated. But it's a balance because we also have to, really respect how people are feeling about it and where they're at, and then kind of work with them and have conversations with them. So if people in your audience are hesitant, my staff is willing to have that conversation with them. And if we have to have that conversation 10 times to get people to feel comfortable with being vaccinated, we're willing to do that.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not something to take lightly, and we send you our condolences for the loss of your
Thank
father.
you.
I'm sure that that was not easy. We are out of time, but I want to quickly mention you're benefiting from Rod Sickler's Red Hot Winter this year, so I'm sure that means a lot to you there at the facility.
It really does. Rod's been such a philanthropic person in the community, even when he was back in Rantoul. I remember he was always community focused, community minded. In fact, right before we went on air, I was mentioning to you that I've known Rod for 35 years when I was stationed at Chanute Air Force Base back in the 80s and early 90s, and that's how I got to know Rod. And then we've come full circle with now that I'm at Aunt Martha's, and we're able to open a clinic probably about 15 or 16 years ago in Danville, and we've come together, and he's really done a great job getting behind Aunt Martha's and its mission, and really more importantly, serving the people of Champaign and Vermilion counties. So please support this event, support Aunt Martha's, and my thanks and my heart goes out to Rod Sickler and his
Well,
team.
yeah, he knows how to put on a production, and that production is happening this
That's right.
Saturday, April 10th at 7 p.m. It's going to be live streamed as well on WCIA's website. It's going to be here on Channel 3. And we thank you for your time today and for being with us. And there's a look at the Aunt Martha's
Ah,
website.
thank
We will
you.
share all of this information on how you can learn more and connect with them on our website, ciliving.tv. Raul, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.